Welcome to AI Flyby. Today we will explore the fishing industry and its profound connection with artificial intelligence. Now, when you think of fishing, you probably picture, boats out on the open sea, right? But today we're going to dive into a totally different world. A world that's going through this quiet but massive revolution, all powered by AI. We're talking about aquaculture, or what most of us just call fish farming. You know, that same digital revolution that completely changed our factories and our offices? Well, it's now making its way underwater. We're seeing this huge shift in how we get food from our planet's waters. It's moving away from just generations of tradition to these super high-tech, data-driven operations that are, well, they're changing everything. All right, so here's how we're going to break this all down. First up, we'll take a look at what a modern high-tech farm actually is. Then, we'll get into the specific AI tools that make it all possible. After that, we've got a really cool case study on counting shrimp. Yes, shrimp. Then we'll look at the broader future of farming, and finally, we'll zoom out to see why all of this really matters. Okay, so let's set the scene. Aquaculture, it's not some small niche thing. Nope, it is a critical part of our global food supply. But as it gets bigger and bigger, it's running into some huge challenges with efficiency, sustainability, the whole management side of things. And really, at the heart of all this is the simple fact that our global population is growing, and we need food. We just have to find smarter ways to produce it. And this isn't just about growing more, it's about growing smarter. It's about slashing waste and making sure the animals and the environment are healthy. And that is where technology becomes a total game changer. So what are these tools exactly? What's making this transformation happen? When we say AI on a fish farm, we're not just talking about one single thing. It's really a collection of powerful technologies all working together. Okay, first up, you have artificial intelligence itself. Think of this as the master brain of the whole operation. Its job is to basically simulate human intelligence to do things like optimize feeding schedules, forecast how fast the fish will grow, and automate all those boring, repetitive tasks. The result? The entire farm runs with this incredible new efficiency. But wait, how does this AI brain get so smart? Well, that's where machine learning comes in. This is the engine that actually powers the AI. It's all about creating models that can learn directly from data. So instead of being programmed for just one specific task, the system can actually get better on its own over time. It gets more and more accurate at predicting what's going to happen and spotting patterns. Now, for an AI to make smart decisions about the real world, it needs to see it, right? And that's exactly what computer vision does. It's basically the eyes of the system. It uses these complex algorithms to analyze images and video, recognizing and tracking things, which, as you're about to see, is unbelievably powerful on a farm. So we've got the brain, we've got the learning engine, and we've got the eyes. Let's see how all these kind of abstract tools come together in a really concrete, real-world example, counting thousands and thousands of tiny shrimp. I mean, it's one thing to talk about this tech, but what does it actually look like when it's put to work? How does this all happen on a real farm? Okay, here's the breakdown. First, the challenge. Trying to count shrimp by hand is a total nightmare. It's slow, it really stresses out the animals, and honestly, the final number is often just a wild guess. So what's the AI solution? Well, it uses computer vision, those digital eyes we just talked about, to watch video feeds from the tanks. It automatically identifies and counts every single shrimp, instantly. It's kind of like a super-powered checkout scanner at the grocery store, but for livestock. And the outcome? It's huge. The farm gets fast, incredibly accurate population data. And with that data, they can manage feeding better, monitor health, and just make way smarter business decisions. But here's the thing. Counting is really just the beginning. Once you have this amazing toolkit of AI, machine learning, and computer vision set up, you can start applying it to solve a whole bunch of other complex problems all over the farm. Just think about it for a second. That same computer vision system, it can be trained to spot the earliest signs of disease just by watching how the fish are swimming. Machine learning models can predict growth rates to nail the perfect harvest time. You can have automated feeding systems that give out exactly the right amount of food, which cuts down on waste and saves a ton of money. You can monitor water quality 24/7 and even optimize the entire supply chain. It's not just one solution, it's a whole platform for constant improvement. So this is about way more than just a few cool gadgets on a farm.
What we're seeing is a fundamental shift in how we approach food production, and it has massive implications for efficiency and for sustainability.
This really shows the evolution perfectly. We're moving from systems that were labor-intensive and manual to ones that are automated and way more efficient. We're going from being reactive, only fixing problems after they happen, to being predictive and proactive. And maybe most importantly, we're shifting away from decisions based on gut feelings and experience to decisions driven by hard data and real insights. And this quote, it really gets to the heart of the business side of things. It's not just about being more high-tech for the sake of it. It's about being fundamentally better at what you do. Performing tasks at a lower cost and getting a higher quality product, that's the win-win that's really driving all this innovation forward. Which brings us to our final thought here. When you put all of this together, the automation, the predictive power, the data-driven efficiency, you have to ask a much, much bigger question. Yeah, we started by looking at a single shrimp farm, but the potential here is so much greater. Can a combination of cameras, algorithms, and data actually play a role in solving one of humanity's oldest and most fundamental challenges? Can code help feed the world? It's a pretty powerful question to think about.